Stop right now. If you're over 50 and you went to bed last night without doing this one simple thing, your leg muscles got weaker while you slept, and it's happening again tonight unless you act. The doctors were shocked. How does a 70-plus regain leg strength in 12 hours, and it's science-backed? Every single night you ignore this, you're literally watching your independence slip away, your balance, your confidence, your ability to climb stairs without gripping the railing for dear life. Here's what's terrifying. You think you have time. You think this gradual weakening is just getting older, and you'll deal with it someday. But while you're waiting, your legs are deteriorating faster than you realize. Tonight, millions of seniors will go to bed making the same devastating mistake. They'll miss the critical 2-hour window when their bodies could be rebuilding muscle instead of breaking it down. They'll wake up tomorrow slightly weaker than today, and they have no idea it's happening. But not you, not anymore. A 2023 study just shattered everything we thought we knew about muscle loss after 50. Researchers discovered that people who ate one specific food combination before bed saw their leg strength markers improve by the next morning. 12 hours. That's how fast your body can start reversing years of decline. But here's the catch. It only works if you know exactly what to eat, when to eat it, and how to combine it. Get any of these wrong, and you'll keep losing ground every single night. This isn't about age, this is about biology. Your muscles are screaming for specific nutrients at specific times, and if you don't give them what they need, they'll keep cannibalizing themselves while you sleep. Think about where you'll be in 6 months if you do nothing. Weaker stairs, shakier balance, more fear with every step, less independence, less confidence, less you. Or imagine waking up tomorrow with legs that feel different, stronger, more solid, more reliable, because you finally gave your body what it's been desperately asking for. Your window is closing. Every night you wait is another night of lost muscle, lost strength, lost independence you'll never get back. The seniors who discovered this are already getting stronger, while others are getting weaker. They're climbing stairs with confidence while others are struggling. They're living fully while others are shrinking their world to avoid the fear of falling, of weakness, of losing control. Which group will you be in tomorrow morning? The choice is yours. But you have to make it right now. Because your legs, they're not waiting for you to decide. They're getting weaker every single night you delay. Don't let tonight be another wasted opportunity. Your future self is counting on what you do in the next few minutes. The secret that's rebuilding leg strength overnight is about to be revealed, but only for those who refuse to accept decline as inevitable. Are you ready to stop the clock on muscle loss? Or will you wake up tomorrow morning weaker than today? Again? Subscribe to LiveWell Daily for more healthy updates and share to others you know need your help. Here's what nobody told you about why your legs feel weak, and it's going to change everything. For decades, doctors kept telling us the same tired story. Your muscles are shrinking. You're getting older. It's just atrophy from sitting too much or hormones declining. Accept it. Adapt to it. Buy a walker. But they were wrong. The latest neuroscience research is flipping this entire narrative upside down, and what they're discovering will make you furious that no one told you sooner. Your muscles aren't disappearing. They're not even that much smaller than they used to be. They're just disconnected. Think about this for a second. What if I told you that right now? As you're watching this, you have most of the muscle strength you had 10 years ago. It's there. It's real. But your brain can't access it because the wiring got scrambled. Here's what's actually happening inside your body and why this changes everything. Starting in your 40s, yes, your 40s, the motor neurons that carry messages from your brain to your leg muscles start losing their edge. These are like telephone lines running from your spinal cord down to every muscle fiber. And just like old phone lines, they start getting static, dropping calls, losing signal strength. So when your brain shouts, contract to your leg muscles, only half the message gets through. The muscle sits there waiting for a clear command that never comes. It's not weak, it's not gone. It's just not getting the memo. Remember that moment last week when you stood up from your chair and felt unsteady for no reason? Or how your legs feel tired after walking the same distance you used to handle easily? That's not your muscles failing you. That's your nervous system having a communication breakdown. And here's the incredible part. You can fix it fast. Your spinal cord isn't just a message relay station. It's a living system that needs constant nutritional support to keep those signals crystal clear. Think of your leg muscles as a construction crew ready to work, and your nervous system as the foreman with a megaphone giving orders. When the megaphone batteries start dying, the crew can't hear the instructions. But replace those batteries, the crew gets right back to work. The University of Calgary proved this in a groundbreaking study. They found that seniors experiencing leg weakness still had the muscle structure to be strong. The problem wasn't muscle loss, it was signal transmission failure. The muscle wasn't dead, it was just offline. This is why certain nutrients can restore neuromuscular function within hours, not weeks or months. You're not building new muscle from scratch. You're just reconnecting the muscle you already have. It's like finding the loose wire in your house and plugging it back in. The neuromuscular junction, that critical point where your nerves meet your muscles, responds incredibly fast to specific amino acids, B vitamins, and compounds that rebuild signal strength. And there's one food that delivers all of these in the exact combination your nervous system is craving. Before you worry about building bigger muscles, you need to make sure your nervous system is actually using the muscles you have. When it comes to leg weakness, signal quality trumps muscle quantity every single time. Now let me tell you about leucine, the molecular master key that unlocks this entire system. Every time you eat, your body scans for specific signals, not just calories, but molecular messages that tell it what to do next. And leucine is one of the most powerful signals it's looking for. Leucine is what scientists call an essential amino acid, meaning your body can't make it. You must get it from food. But leucine isn't just nutrition, it's communication. It's your body's internal text message that says, time to build, time to repair, time to get stronger. Here's where it gets exciting. Leucine directly activates a cellular pathway called mTOR. Think of it as your body's master switch for muscle building and repair. Leucine is the finger that flips that switch. When mTOR gets activated, it sends commands throughout your muscle cells. Synthesize new proteins, repair damaged fibers, strengthen connections. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that even in older adults, a single leucine-rich meal could dramatically boost mTOR activity and kickstart muscle protein synthesis. One meal, within hours. Your body is waiting for this signal. Right now, disconnected muscles are dormant, ready to come back online, but they need the right trigger. Without it, strength slips away day after day, often unnoticed, until it's too late. Most seniors blame age for weak legs, but the real culprit is simpler and fixable. The difference between decline and vitality hinges on one nightly action. So tonight, ask yourself, will you send your muscles the signal they're desperate for? Or will tomorrow be another day of strength lost for good? Here's what's going on inside your body right now that nobody talks about, and it's going to make you angry that no one told you sooner. As you age, your muscles develop what scientists call anabolic resistance. Think of it like this. When you were younger, eating protein was like shouting clear instructions to a crew of eager workers. They heard you immediately and got to work. Now, it's like whispering to workers wearing noise-canceling headphones while a jackhammer runs in the background. They can barely hear you, and even when they do, they're slow to respond. But leucine cuts through that resistance like a megaphone blast. This explains something that's probably been driving you crazy. You can eat a big protein-rich dinner, chicken, fish, even a protein shake, and still wake up the next morning feeling weak, unsteady, and like your legs are made of jelly. You're doing what everyone told you to do. You're eating protein. So why do you still feel like you're losing ground every single day? It's not that you didn't eat enough protein. It's that you didn't get enough leucine, and you didn't time it right. Most seniors accidentally eat just enough protein to stop their muscles from actively breaking down, but nowhere near enough leucine to send the powerful signal that tells those muscles to rebuild, repair, and strengthen. Every single day you miss this signal, you're falling further behind while others are getting stronger. Think about what this means for your daily life. That hesitation when you stand up from your favorite chair, that moment of uncertainty at the top of the stairs, the way your legs feel shaky after what used to be an easy walk to the mailbox. These aren't just signs of getting older. These are signs that your muscles are starving for the right signals at the right time. Here's your immediate action plan, and it's simpler than you think, but you have to get the details right. Focus your first substantial meal of the day around a leucine-rich food source. We're talking eggs, lean beef, chicken, fish, or dairy. But if you want the fastest, most reliable results, whey protein isolate delivers leucine in perfect proportions with lightning speed. You only need 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine to flip your mTOR switch and kickstart serious muscle repair. That's roughly 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. One meal, one decision, hours of measurable benefit. But here's where most people mess this up. They think any protein will do. Wrong. A peanut butter sandwich might have 20 grams of protein, but it's leucine poor. You'll get maybe 1.5 grams of leucine, which isn't enough to trigger the anabolic response your aging muscles desperately need. Meanwhile, 30 grams of whey protein isolate delivers nearly 3 grams of leucine, exactly what your body is screaming for. This is why athletes and doctors working with seniors are turning to whey protein isolate more and more. It's not just convenient, it's scientifically engineered to deliver exactly what your aging muscles need in the exact ratios they crave, without the guesswork. But here's what most people completely miss. This isn't just about rebuilding muscle tissue. It's about reconnecting your brain to your body. When you eat leucine-rich protein at the right time, something incredible happens that goes way beyond just muscle growth. Your nervous system and muscle fibers start having a biochemical conversation they haven't had in years. Neural pathways that went quiet start lighting up again. Motor units that checked out start checking back in. The faster that conversation restarts, the faster your legs feel solid, reliable, and alive again. You know that feeling when you wake up some mornings and your body just feels on? Your balance is better, your steps are more confident, you feel more connected to your own strength? That's what happens when your neuromuscular system is firing on all cylinders. And you can trigger that feeling consistently with the right nutritional timing. Now let me tell you about the second critical piece of this puzzle. The neurotransmitter that literally commands your muscles to move, and the one common food that restocks it faster than any expensive supplement on the market. Every single time you decide to move, stand up from a chair, take a step forward, climb a stair, reach for something, your brain sends an electrical signal down your spinal cord. But that electrical signal doesn't talk directly to your muscles. It can't. First, it has to get converted into a chemical messenger called acetylcholine at the neuromuscular junction. Acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter for muscle movement. It's the chemical translator that turns your brain's electrical move now signal into actual muscle contraction. Without enough of it, your muscles don't fire properly. They hesitate, misfire, contract weakly, or don't respond at all. It's like having a perfectly good car with a dying battery. The engine is fine, but the spark isn't getting through. And here's the part that should terrify you. You're losing acetylcholine production every single year, starting in your 40s. Multiple studies show that acetylcholine production and receptor sensitivity both decline with age, especially in the motor neurons controlling your legs and core stability muscles. This is the real reason why minor balance lapses become more common as you hit your senior years, why your reaction time slows down, why you sometimes feel like there's a delay between deciding to move and your body actually responding. Your brain is sending perfectly clear signals, but they're getting weaker and fuzzier with each passing year. The message is leaving headquarters loud and clear, but it's arriving at your muscles like a whispered conversation through a bad phone connection. But here's where the science gets really exciting and where you can take back control. Research published in the journal Nutrients proved that choline, acetylcholine's direct building block, can rapidly restore this signaling power. We're not talking about weeks or months. The study showed that increasing dietary choline improves acetylcholine production in just 6 to 12 hours, especially when your brain is actively demanding motor coordination. Think about what this means. You could eat the right food tonight and wake up tomorrow with noticeably sharper neuromuscular communication. Your brain's commands reaching your muscles with more clarity, more speed, more authority. What food gives you this advantage? Eggs, specifically the yolks that most people throw away or avoid. Egg yolks are nature's single richest source of bioavailable choline. Just 2 whole eggs deliver over 300 milligrams of choline that gets converted directly into acetylcholine in your nervous system, rebuilding your motor control pathway from the inside out. This isn't some exotic superfood you need to special order. It's sitting in your refrigerator right now. But here's what makes this even more powerful: the timing and combination strategy that most people never learn. This isn't just nutritional trivia you can file away for later. This is a working protocol that you can start using immediately. If you're someone who experiences shakiness, instability, or reduced power when walking or standing, if you've noticed your legs are slow to respond or feel disconnected from your brain's commands, try this simple morning routine starting tomorrow. Eat 2 whole eggs about 30 minutes after waking, preferably alongside a leucine-rich protein like whey protein powder, cottage cheese, or Greek yogurt. Why this specific timing matters more than you think. Acetylcholine synthesis is naturally at its lowest point after sleep. Your motor neurons are essentially running on empty when you wake up. But they're also most receptive to nutritional input in the morning, right when they're hungriest for the raw materials they need. You're giving your body the choline to rebuild acetylcholine reserves when your nervous system is most ready to use it. This morning window is critical because your body's circadian rhythms actually optimize neurotransmitter production in the early hours. Miss this window, and you're fighting against your biology instead of working with it. Get it right, and you're maximizing every gram of choline for peak neuromuscular benefit. Have you ever noticed how much more confident and stable your steps feel after a protein-rich breakfast? How does your balance seem better, your reactions quicker, your legs more responsive? That's not a placebo effect or wishful thinking. That's your nervous system firing with precision again. That's acetylcholine flowing properly from nerve to muscle, restoring the communication highway that keeps you steady, strong, and in control. Choline isn't just supporting your existing muscles, it's upgrading the entire communication network between your brain and your legs. It's like replacing old, frayed electrical wires with brand new copper conductors. The signal gets through faster, cleaner, and stronger. Every morning you skip this combination, you're missing your single best opportunity to restore that critical brain-muscle connection. Your legs have been waiting for these signals, starving for the raw materials they need to respond to your brain's commands with authority and speed. The seniors who figure this out, who understand that leg weakness isn't about muscle size, but about signal quality, they're the ones who keep their independence longer. They're the ones who navigate stairs with confidence while others grip the railing in fear. They're the ones who walk with purpose while others shuffle uncertainty. Your legs have been waiting for these signals. The only question left is, will you send them starting tomorrow morning? Now, if you don't eat eggs, don't panic, but you need to know this about choline sources. Quinoa, Brussels sprouts, and soybeans also contain choline, but here's the critical difference most people miss. Egg yolks have the highest bioavailability, meaning your body can actually absorb and use nearly all of the choline they provide. With plant sources, you're getting choline, but your body might only absorb 60 to 70% of it. When you're trying to rapidly restore acetylcholine levels, that efficiency gap matters enormously. But here's the bonus that changes everything about how you think about this morning routine. Acetylcholine doesn't just activate your muscles, it's also your brain's primary neurotransmitter for learning, memory, and mental focus. So when you restore acetylcholine levels, you're not just improving your physical control, you're sharpening your cognitive clarity at the same time. Double win for aging with strength and intelligence. You know those mornings when your mind feels sharp and your body feels responsive? When your thoughts are clear and your movements are confident? That's acetylcholine firing on all cylinders, connecting your brain to both your muscles and your mental performance. Now let me tell you about the third critical link in this chain, the one most people completely ignore until it's too late. Picture yourself trying to grow a garden with a kinked hose. Doesn't matter how fertile the soil is or how much sunlight you provide, those plants aren't getting the water they need to thrive. Inside your leg muscles, this exact scenario plays out every single day as you age. The arteries and capillaries feeding your lower limbs gradually become more constricted and less responsive. Blood flow gets restricted, sluggish, inefficient. This chokes off three absolutely critical functions: oxygen delivery, nutrient transport, and waste removal. All three are essential for muscle function and recovery. The result? That heavy, fatigued, sluggish feeling in your legs that you've been attributing to just getting older. Even if you're eating adequate protein and staying somewhat active, poor circulation can silently sabotage your strength gains. You could be doing everything else right, getting your leucine, loading up on choline, but if your blood isn't efficiently carrying these nutrients to your leg muscles, you're still fighting an uphill battle. Here's where most people miss the connection entirely. The master molecule controlling blood vessel dilation is nitric oxide, NO for short. It's a gas naturally produced in your endothelial cells, the cells lining your blood vessels. This gas signals your blood vessels when to relax and widen, allowing more blood to surge through. And nitric oxide production is heavily dependent on what you eat. Beets are one of the most powerful natural nitric oxide boosters on the planet. Beets, especially when eaten raw or juiced, are loaded with dietary nitrates that your body converts directly into nitric oxide. But here's what makes this discovery so exciting: the speed at which it works. A 2015 study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that older adults who consumed beetroot juice experienced significant increases in leg muscle power within just hours of consumption. Not days or weeks, hours. The improvement was especially dramatic in fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are critical for balance, quick reactions, and fall prevention. This wasn't some marginal, barely detectable change. The benefits were substantial enough to show up in real-world movement tests, walking speed tests, chair stand tests, even stair-climbing performance. We're talking about measurable improvements in the activities that determine whether you maintain your independence or start depending on others. Think about what this means for your daily life. That sluggish feeling when you try to stand up quickly? The way your legs feel heavy and unresponsive during your afternoon walk? The hesitation you feel when facing a flight of stairs? These could all improve within hours of flooding your system with the right nutrients. Here's your practical action plan. It's simpler than you think. About 90 minutes before any physical activity, consume 1 to 2 medium-sized beets or drink 8 to 10 ounces of beetroot juice. This timing gives the nitrates enough time to convert into nitric oxide and start triggering vasodilation, the widening of your blood vessels that allows more nutrient-rich blood to reach your muscles. Want to amplify this effect even more? Combine your beet consumption with 20 minutes of light movement, a gentle walk, easy cycling, or dynamic stretching. Movement itself is a powerful stimulator of nitric oxide production. You're essentially double-dipping, getting nitric oxide from the dietary nitrates and from the physical activity. This isn't just theory. Older adults who follow this protocol report feeling more energetic, more stable on their feet, and more confident in their movements within the same day. Their legs feel lighter, more responsive, more alive. But here's what most people don't realize about the timing. Your nitric oxide levels naturally fluctuate throughout the day, typically being lowest in the early morning and building throughout the day with activity. If you consume your beets or beetroot juice in the late morning or early afternoon, you're hitting your circulation at the optimal time when your vascular system is most responsive to nitric oxide signals. The seniors who understand this circulation connection are the ones who maintain their mobility while others are struggling. They're the ones whose legs feel strong and responsive well into their 70s and 80s, while others are shuffling and hesitating with every step. Your leg strength isn't just about muscle fibers and nerve signals. It's about the delivery system that feeds those muscles the oxygen and nutrients they need to perform. Fix the circulation, and everything else works better. Every day you ignore your circulation is another day of suboptimal nutrient delivery to the muscles you're trying to strengthen. Your muscles could be perfectly capable of strength and power, but if they're not getting adequate blood flow, they'll never reach their potential. The question isn't whether you have strong muscles hiding under poor circulation. The question is, will you unlock their potential starting today? If you're worried about the sugar in beets, here's what you need to know. The glycemic load of beets is actually quite modest, and the performance benefits far outweigh any minor blood sugar spike, especially when consumed before activity. But if you're still concerned, pair your beets with a source of protein or high-fiber greens to buffer the absorption. Your body will thank you for the circulation boost, and your blood sugar will stay stable. It's a simple fix that lets you get all the nitric oxide benefits without any worries. Now here's the part that's going to shock you. The silent destroyer that's stealing your leg strength right now, and you can't even feel it happening. It's there like a low, persistent hum in the background. I'm talking about chronic inflammation, not the obvious kind you get from an injury that's red, hot, and swollen. This is subtle, systemic inflammation that's slowly degrading your muscle function, particularly in your legs, every single day. Here's what the research reveals, and it's terrifying. Even low levels of chronic inflammation can reduce your muscle's ability to repair, strengthen, and coordinate properly. A 2020 study in the Journals of Gerontology found that elevated inflammatory markers, specifically C-reactive protein and interleukin-6, were strongly linked to decreased muscle mass and strength in older adults, even when their activity levels and nutrition looked perfectly adequate. So what's happening inside your body when this chronic fire is burning? Inflammation sabotages muscle protein synthesis, ramps up oxidative stress, and impairs mitochondrial function. Those are the very engines that power your muscle contractions. It also hampers your nervous system's ability to recruit muscle fibers effectively. Even if the muscle is there, the signal to activate it becomes weaker and weaker. Here's the surprise. One of the most powerful tools we have for extinguishing this ongoing fire isn't found in the supplement aisle. It's in your produce drawer. Dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, chard, mustard greens. These aren't just nutrient-dense, they're inflammation-fighting powerhouses. They're loaded with polyphenols, chlorophyll, magnesium, and nitrate compounds that support your body's ability to downregulate inflammatory pathways. Specifically, the polyphenol quercetin found in kale and mustard greens has been shown to directly block inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha. A 2019 study in Frontiers in Pharmacology showed that consuming quercetin-rich foods daily can lower inflammation markers within 2 to 4 weeks, especially when combined with moderate exercise. Here's your simple, science-backed protocol. Include at least 1 cup of dark leafy greens in your first meal of the day. Why the first meal? Because it helps set the tone for inflammation regulation throughout your circadian rhythm, your internal clock that controls immune and hormonal responses. Want to maximize absorption? Combine them with a source of healthy fat like olive oil or avocado to enhance uptake of fat-soluble antioxidants like vitamin K and beta-carotene. Add a squeeze of lemon or apple cider vinegar to boost digestion and nutrient absorption. Now, these foods don't work like painkillers. You won't feel the effect immediately. But over 10 to 14 days, you may notice less achiness, faster recovery, more stable energy, and a renewed sense of power in your legs. This is where nutrition transforms from fuel into signaling, telling your immune system it's safe to turn down the heat. But here's what most people completely miss: something that can either accelerate or sabotage your muscle recovery regardless of what you eat. The food you consume is only part of the equation for restoring leg strength. Meal timing might be just as critical, especially as we age. Every time you eat a protein-containing meal, you trigger a process called muscle protein synthesis, MPS. This is the biological process by which your body repairs damaged muscle tissue and builds new muscle. But here's what changes as you get older that nobody talks about. Are you starting to see how these pieces fit together? How your body has been waiting for the right signals at the right times? Your muscles are constantly receiving signals to grow and repair themselves, but there's a catch. As we age, our bodies develop what scientists call anabolic resistance. Essentially, our muscles become pickier about using the protein we eat. It's like having a bouncer at a club who gets stricter over time. Here's where it gets interesting. A fascinating study revealed that people who spread their protein intake evenly across 3 meals experienced 25% better muscle protein synthesis compared to those who loaded up on protein at dinner. Think of each meal as sending a fresh wake-up call to your muscles rather than one overwhelming message they might ignore. The magic happens when you combine this with movement. That post-meal walk or light activity opens what researchers call the anabolic window, a brief period when your muscle cells are primed to absorb nutrients like eager students in a classroom. Your morning routine becomes crucial here. Picture starting your day with Greek yogurt and berries, followed by a gentle walk, then a protein-rich breakfast within the hour. This sequence creates a cascade of muscle-building signals that reverberates throughout your day. But there's another player in this story: nitric oxide. This remarkable molecule acts like your body's internal delivery system, ensuring oxygen and nutrients reach your muscles efficiently. Beetroot, particularly in concentrated form, naturally boosts nitric oxide production, sometimes creating measurable improvements in leg strength within hours. The gut-muscle connection adds another layer to this narrative. The bacteria in your digestive system don't just process food, they influence how your brain communicates with your muscles. Foods rich in nitrates and antioxidants essentially reprogram this communication network. Your body wants to regenerate and adapt. The challenge lies in providing the right inputs at optimal moments. Tomorrow morning, try this simple protocol. Blend beetroot powder with Greek yogurt into a smoothie. Take a 15-minute walk afterward, then eat a protein-rich breakfast. This sequence primes your blood vessels, triggers nitric oxide release, and activates muscle signaling pathways. Even small, strategic interventions can create rapid, measurable changes in how your body performs. Your legs aren't just your foundation for movement, they're a window into your overall vitality and metabolic health. This isn't just about leg strength, it's about reclaiming your vitality. As you implement these daily practices, you'll notice something profound happening. Your legs don't just feel stronger, you feel more grounded, more confident, more alive. There's a quiet power that comes from knowing your body is working with you, not against you. The transformation begins with that first morning smoothie and walk, but it extends far beyond your muscles. You'll find yourself standing taller, moving with more purpose, feeling genuinely capable again. This is what happens when you stop accepting decline as inevitable and start partnering with your body's innate ability to regenerate. Try this protocol. Give yourself this gift. Your future self, the one who bounds upstairs without hesitation, who feels steady and strong, is waiting for you to take that first step. If this message resonated with something deep inside you, if you felt that spark of possibility, then please hit that like button. Your engagement tells me these science-backed strategies are changing lives, and it helps this message reach someone else who desperately needs to hear it. Share this video with someone you care about, a parent, a friend, anyone who's been told that feeling weak and tired is just part of getting older. Because it's not, and they deserve to know that. Subscribe to join our community of people who refuse to settle for good enough when it comes to their health. We're here to help you not just survive, but truly thrive with tools that honor both your intelligence and your potential. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to invest in yourself. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue building the strongest, most vibrant version of you.